Welcome back to another video with Invest Today. And today's video, we're going to discuss the S&P 500. We're going to jump into the charts and we're going to see where the price is heading for the S&P 500. And we know that it's broken to an all-time high again. So we're going to see where the top should be and look at kind of if we should pull back or, continue to hold our assets. At this point, obviously, wouldn't recommend buying because the buying should have been done during the the bear run. None of this is financial advice, and of course, do what you need to do. There is probably many assets in the S&P 500 still worth looking at and purchasing and accumulating. Accumulating, yes, but buying at this point, probably hold back and then start actually pulling back some of your assets. So we're going to look at the Fear and Greed Index right now. It is just getting greedier in the market. You can see right there, 76. That's why I say you either hold or you start cutting back a little bit of those profits because you're getting much greedier in the S&P 500. $5,800, $59 now, $18,500. And the Dow Jones, $43,065 now. Okay, so the markets are just getting very greedy. Okay, 76 greed going into extreme greed. Okay, we're not there yet, but it's going into extreme greed. And you can see, look at that. It has broken now above this golden line here, which is its previous all-time high of $5,766. Broke above that. Do see the S&P going to $6,132. Okay, that's my target. How do I get that target? Well, we are in the 1 week chart, and I do see the same price action we seen coming off COVID's low. So you can see back in 2020, it's fallen there 34% only after COVID and gone parabolic since then. If I take this pink line I have as the same bull run here as we're having from its low to the COVID low, it does the same sort of trend we're having. So that trend indicated $4,809 as a top and did. Okay. And then came on a 27% low and now moving higher in the market. So if I take that low and the same trend line on the 1 week, okay, by the way, this broke all the way to the 365. Here is just the 200, but did break below the 200 moving average. So we got to take that in account. We see a price going to $6,132, that green solid line there. And we can see it working its way up there. Also, I have this 13% parabolic line and 12-week marker also pushing up because we have the same look as we do here back earlier this year. Okay, pushing off the 21 moving average right here on the 1 day. Okay, it worked its way all the way up, and now it's looking like the same things is going on off the 21-day moving average, and now looking like it's working its way up to that marker we have now at $6,132. We will be adjusting it as the day goes and as we keep looking at the market and all the news and so on and so forth. But right now, you can see even on the 1 week here, it has gone parabolic because of the moving averages, just absolutely aligned in a bull run. Okay, so you can see here, if you look back at the history in the S&P, moving averages, and if you look anytime they're aligned like that, it just moves up and up and up. So that's on the 1 week there. And you can see that 21 moving average price is above that. So usually price goes higher once it is. If you go to the 1 day, that 21 has now broken above. Price moved higher back in September. Okay, September 9th was its low right there. If you want to go to its real low, It went past the 100 moving average, almost touching the 200 moving average, getting close, but a real scare there in August 5th. I believe that was the growth scare. It was a 10% decrease from its all-time high there at 5,600, 10%, and now pushing to that 5,600, bouncing down, and then off the 100 again, and then pushing up into its all-time high. So I do see the price going higher now, okay, and I do see the price targeting $6,100, just following this trend line simply, and then we're going to have to see what happens after that. And it looks like pretty well near in the short term that's going to happen. It looks like December. We're going to see if the price can move above that, but I do see a lot of resistance there. $6,100. Going to the 1 week chart. I did notice, like if you notice here, back in, so there was obviously the 2007, 2008 crash. After that, S&P went to a super cycle of 403%. How it made all-time high after all-time high, but it struggled here back in technology boom, came down there, 02, and then there was a housing and all kinds of boom going on here, 2002 and so on, and then the housing crash and banking crisis back in 07, okay? And then it led the S&P to hit that 365 moving average, literally. This is why I have this moving average, okay, because of the S&P bouncing off of it. And ever since then, it's done, since COVID, a 403% to the upside. Now, I want you to pay attention to that because since the bottom of COVID, we take the same line we have here, COVID, right here, $3,400. Now, I take that same pump. It brings us coincidentally right to this line as well of 6,100 target I have there, a little higher. It would bring us to right around 6,200. I believe that's where we're heading, and we might be bouncing off that and down. We're going to keep an eye on it. We're going to keep looking at what's going on in the S&P for sure, but I would definitely start shaving some profits right now. It's not financial advice, but as we keep moving up is your sell zone, and your buy zone would be those in between this box right here, $5,245 and $4,800. I would believe that would be the buy zone down in this box, and if it would fall below there, you have that huge fall down, okay? And it could retest 3,400. Reason why I say that, because it happened after the technology boom. Came down, fell down, came up, and then fell down to retest that 365. But in that same order, in that pattern. So if you look here, you can see the same pattern going on. And if it touches here, it could come back down to retest 3,400, and that could be the new bottom for the S&P 500 one day, but we'll have to wait and see in the future. But right now, I do see the prices. Now it's in obviously price discovery. The next psychological number would be 6,000. Probably break above that. Like I said, 6,100, the top. This golden line, which was the previous all-time high, 5,700. Okay. $5,750, and then we got $5,667, $5,550, and then $5,400, and then that major support there, $5,200, and then a gap down, significant one to $4,800. The S&P were bearish and falling on incredibly bad news. But don't think that's happening because we got elections, we've got rate cutting, got all kinds of things that's going to keep pushing the S&P to a higher high. All right, that's it for today's video, and we'll see you on the next one.